Hello there, Chicuz!
Welcome to Chicuz Radio, where two cousins share their journey of self love, personal growth, and adulting in general. We are your hosts, Chelsea,
And Aika!
inviting you to join us in this week's episode.
Tara! Let's make Chica! Yay!
Yay!
Hello everybody! Welcome back to the show. It's episode 10. Can you believe it? Grabe, nakakasampung
Oh,
episodes na tayo. Grabe. Wow.
thank you. Thank you for staying with us until the
Yes.
10th episode. Kung nakikinig ka pa rin until today. Until this episode pala.
Thank you. Sobrang
Yes.
na-appreciate namin talaga. Sobrang nakakataba ng puso. So,
Yes.
maraming salamat. Grabe, maiyak na ako dito. Joke lang.
10th episode pa lang yan Patapos pa lang tayo sa season 1 natin. So, speaking of super being thankful, what are you grateful for this week, Kaz?
Okay, for me, nag-start kasi nanonood ako ng Kenshin na live action movies sa Netflix. And then I realized na buti na lang hindi ako pinanganak sa panahon na yon, kung saan sobrang laganap yung war and yung status ng mga babae sa society is not the same as what we have today. So, it made me realize na I'm grateful where I am right now sa era kung kailan ako pinanganak at nabubuhay, because I have the freedom and yung safety rin na hindi ko kailangang matakot every time lalabas ako. And ayun, how about you?
I just want to say na parang na-intriga tuloy ako dun sa Samurai X ba?
Oo, Samurai X.
Hindi aware si ate girl.
Samurai X.
So, panahon pala natin yon. So, yeah. Na-intriga tuloy ako doon sa Samurai X. Parang gusto ko na siya panoorin. I'll try.
Same lang naman yung story with the anime.
Hindi ko na maalala.
Oh, okay.
Hello, parang bata pa tayo nung pinalabas yun sa GMA ba yun?
I think.
Di ba yung mga cartoon sa hapon?
Nagpapalit-palit lang naman sila ng 2, pero mostly sa GMA.
Yeah. Oo.
Kasi Ghost Fighter sa GMA eh.
Tsaka parang hindi ako masyadong fan dati ng Samurai X.
Oh.
Mas Fushigi-Yugi talaga ako.
Oh, tsaka si Inuyasha.
Oo, Inuyasha sobra. Ayun. So, I think, parang gusto ko siya panoorin. Pero same yung kwento, no? Yung
Yes.
anime tsaka yung live action. Pero yan. Yan. Anyway, something na I'm really grateful for this week. Actually, the thing that I'm grateful for this week is something that occupied a lot of my days. Remember yesterday, I messaged you na sobrang na-drain ako kasi sinasabay ko yung ginagawa ko ngayon with my admin work as a teacher. So like lesson planning, ganyan. So thankful ako na napagsasabay ko pa rin yung work as a teacher and me processing my requirements for my master's. So if you listen to our mid-year review, one of my goals this year is to take up my master's. So I started processing the requirements now for me to be able to enter the program and to also be able to enroll. And nakakatuwa kasi before parang mag-fill up lang tayo ng form and hihingi ng grades. Parang before back in college, when you're applying to a college, it's all about the grades. But then this time, when you try to apply to a master's program, they will ask you for a personal essay. So when I made my personal essay, of course, yung ang tawag dito, yung pag-proofread, nangiyak ako kay tulong kay Ate Aika. But when I was trying to compose the personal essay, nakaka-proud kasi napansin ko how different my mindset was back when I was younger and my current mindset. So there, sobrang nakaka-proud and it's something na, yun nga, I'm thankful for kasi if not because of me processing my requirements for the program, I wouldn't be able to see how different I was before to the current me. Alam mo yun? Iba eh. Iba talaga ako before. And actually, it's something na really related in our topic today, which is processing negative emotions. Kasi before hindi ako aware of everything. Like, yon yung negative emotions and what to do with them. So, ikaw ba, Kaz, ano yung experiences mo when it comes to negative emotions? Or may ano ka ba, experience na sobra na nga, worse pa? Pero yon so, yung negative emotion, an experience with having a negative emotion.
Siyempre, marami naman talagang experience regarding negative emotions. Pero magbibigay na lang siguro ako ng example na I think maraming makaka-relate. Kasi common siya and nangyayari siya sa akin mas madalas compared sa other negative emotions. Especially nung nagpupunta pa sa office for work kasi sobrang aga ng gising. So, yung negative emotion na 'to is frustration and yung mabilis maubos yung patience mo. Yung alam mong if it's any other day naman, kaya mong tanggapin yung mga maliliit na problema sa work, yung mga maliliit na issues, ganyan. Pero kapag talaga ako, wala akong tulog, gutom ako, tapos ang daming nangungulit sa work, sobrang frustrated talaga ako na yung patience ko, wala. Hindi sa konti eh, wala talaga akong patience.
You know what, that's very true na actually what you just said is very relatable kasi yeah, naisip ko din yung tanong ko kanina, parang I can't also pinpoint just one experience with a negative emotion. It's always, I mean, you know, having a negative emotion is very normal na it comes more often than we think in our, di ba? It comes more
Totoo.
often in our lives. So you just have to be aware, like, what triggers them or what triggers the negative emotion and ano yung nangyayari sa'yo when you're having those negative emotions. Like, yun nga, for example, sa'yo, hindi ka nakakatulog or sobrang baba ng patience mo. For me naman, yun din. Parang, it's either I'll be sleeping a lot or hirap na hirap ako matulog. As in, no matter how hard I try, mga, as in, 5, 6, or magbe-breakfast muna bago matulog, ganun. Or matutulog ako maghapon. I also I also experience na kapag yun nga parang I have this dark cloud on top of me, parang I have no appetite, parang di ako nagugutom, and the things that used to make me happy, hindi na same yung feeling na alam mo yon, never mo ma-feel na ay never mo naisip na i-dread mo yung activity na yon. Like for example, journaling. Sobrang favorite ko mag-journal. Sobrang favorite ko mag bullet journaling. So art journaling, ganyan. Pero pag sobrang negative ng emotion ko, as in wala akong hinahawakan na kahit ano, hindi ako kumikilos and I have all of these anxieties and worries in my head. Ikaw, Cos, how were you able to overcome those? Like, when you're feeling all those patterns na, parang andyan na, ano yung plan mo? Di ba parang, meron ka bang checklist or Gano'n.
Meron akong checklist. Being the Virgo that I am,
Yes.
meron akong checklist na nagawa ko siya through practice and through time. Na-develop ko siya
Totoo.
kasi marami ngang nangyayaring negative emotions. So, babalik ko na lang dun sa example ko para madali. But before that, gusto ko lang sabihin na yung example ko is more on sa frustration. And meron pang deeper na negative emotions like anxiety nga, like sa'yo, and depression na magbigay rin ako ng tips later. So anyway, going back dun sa mababang patience or walang patience na negative emotion, first step na ginagawa ko talaga every time is to breathe. So, syempre, di ba, I'll be self-aware na, oh, wait lang, meron ako netong negative emotion na to. So, the first thing I do is to step away from that, which is dun nakakatulong yung breathing. So, I will try to deep breathe or alam niyo yung box breathing na hindi, breathe in for 4 seconds, then hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, then hold for 4 seconds. So, yun yung ginagawa ko. Basta breathing for a few minutes. Or kahit nga 1 minute lang eh. Basta kailangan lang na I'll be able to ground myself. And then, after that, since nung na-discover ko yung EFT, tapping, so, I do that also. So, minsan, I will go to YouTube and search for videos. Meron na kasing specific like affirmations or tapping videos na related dun sa negative emotion na nararamdaman ko. Or sometimes naman, sarili ko na lang. Ako na lang yung, kapag mas personal, ganyan. So, ako na lang yung nagtatap and I do my own affirmations. And if wala pa din, pag meron pa ding negative emotions after tapping, I journal. Sobrang useful talaga sa akin and love na love ko talaga ang journaling. And yung pagjo-journal na yon, as we've mentioned, I think episode 2, episode 1, I don't know, basta earlier episodes pa, na when we journal now, talagang sinusulat natin lahat. That way, we were able to process the emotions more. So, meron akong questions when I journal regarding sa negative emotions na I follow. So, number one is, what is it I'm feeling? And then, number two, what triggered it? Why do I feel this way? And then, number three is, what do I want to feel right now? So, yun yung guiding questions ko kapag nag-journal ako about negative emotions. And then, kapag nga yung frustration is because kulang ako sa tulog and meron naman akong time, I really try to nap. Kasi sobrang nakakatulong siya. Alam mo yung pagkatapos kong mag-nap for maybe 30 minutes, pagising ko parang, okay, kaya ko na, okay na. Yung patience ko nag-increase na ng 10%. Ganon. So, makakasurvive na siya for the whole workday. So, yun yung sa akin. Ikaw naman, do you have like any tips or ano yung ginawa mo
Mm.
whenever you experience negative emotions?
Gusto ko mag-add dun sa kakasabi mo lang na, you take a nap. There's a ano, I would just like to remind our listeners na there is a difference between pausing and yun nga, moving away from the situation and escaping the situation. Kasi before, 'di ba, if you're an avid listener already, paulit-ulit ko lang sinasabi na I used to be an escapist. So, anong ginagawa ng isang escapist? Natutulog lang siya. When she's having those negative emotions, those negative situations, natutulog lang ako. As in, hindi ko siya, I don't reflect on the negative emotion. I don't reflect on the situation, what happened, what triggered. I just sleep on it. And yun nga, there's a difference between pausing and giving yourself a break and just escaping, trying to get out of the situation without thinking of solving the situation or getting over the negative feeling. And you have to try to catch yourself whenever, ano yung purpose mo for sleeping? Bakit mo gusto matulog? So, try to catch your intention of sleeping. Is it pausing or is it escaping from the situation? Siguro, what you can do is, yun nga, matulog, make sure that you have the intention to reflect on it after or like pagkagising mo. Baka nga kasi kailangan mo lang din talaga to recharge, kailangan mo lang din to have a break, and when you regain that energy, make sure na you're going to put that energy not to distract yourself again, but to reflect on yourself and your emotions. It's something na I also do. So, 'di ba nga na-mention ko kanina na I used to be a different person. Syempre lahat naman tayo, 'di ba? Pero I used to be a different person when it comes to yun nga, handling my emotions, and iba din yung mindset ko before. So what I do right now when it comes to overcoming those negative emotions, it helps a lot when you yun nga, give time to reflect. And what I did was I kind of studied myself. It helped a lot in studying myself or like knowing my patterns, that I have very supportive people around me that allows me to express myself verbally, but at the same time, reminding me to not be harmful. And wala na rin akong ma-add dun sa mga na-mention mo kanina na kasi I totally agree. We're the same in that sense that we reflect, we take a break, ganyan. So siguro look for people na lang to, people that you can trust, people that you know that they accept you, they love you for who you are, and that they know that you're trying your best to be a better person every day. And they will help you with your journey in, yun nga, knowing yourself. So, actually, ang ganda ng journey na tatry mong kilalanin yung sarili mo. When you want to when you want to start acting on getting over that negative emotion, one first thing that you have to do is to, yun nga, recognize the emotion, know, yun nga, tama, ang ganda nung, gusto ko yung guide questions mo. What triggered the emotion? Like, why am I, alam mo yun, parang be your own therapist. Kasi, when you know why you're feeling the way you're feeling, you'll be able to know how to act on them.
I just want to add on dun sa mga sinabi mo, no? One more tip that we can give is really to talk to people. Kasi minsan we're too clouded. Hindi natin kayang i-process mag-isa yung emotions natin. So it's good to have that circle of trust and you share to them kung ano yung struggles mo, and kung wala, and if it's really depression na and anxiety na malala, we highly encourage that you talk to a therapist. Kasi kahit gaano pa kadaming tao ang ready to listen, or kahit pa gaano yung will mo to actually know your triggers, iba pa rin when a professional listens to your stories. Kasi mas na-analyze nila yon, and sure ka na merong confidentiality clause, 'di ba?
Yes.
Kasi minsan talaga yung mga triggers natin ng for example sa depression, ganyan, hindi rin natin kayang i-share sa mga taong malalapit sa'tin. So, tanggalin na natin yung stigma sa society of going to therapists. Dahil nandiyan sila to help us process our emotions. So, that's one of the tips na I want to add on.
Pero ano add ko lang din kasi when it comes to processing negative emotions, it helps a lot when you voice out your anxieties. Ito concrete example for me. Sometimes I have tendencies na parang meron akong social anxiety. I would have thoughts na sobrang unreasonable na, for example, parang feeling ko galit ka sa akin. Pero wala akong clue. Hindi ka nagpakita ng action or ng gesture na galit ka sa akin. Pero for some weird reason, meron akong thought na ganun. And what helps me a lot when I'm feeling anxious, syempre sa akin, totoo siya. Pero when I share it with someone, like for example, i-share ko siya kay Zen na sasabihin ko, feeling ko galit sa akin si Ate Aika, ganun. Parang when I voice things out, dun ko maririnig dun ko lang marirealize na, wait, wala pala akong evidence na galit siya sa akin. So bakit ako nagkakaroon ng worries na ganito?
So, one more na nakakatulong is sometimes you just have to eat. Minsan talaga gutom ka lang.
Ay, totoo yan. Alam mo, may time talaga, sorry bigla ako napashare. Naalala ko kasi, there was a time na sobrang nagmo-monster mode ako. As in, nagwawala talaga ako. Tapos, ang sabi ng lola ko, si Mommy Rems, sabi ng lola ko, di ka pa kasi nagla-lunch. Tapos, lalo ko nagalit sa kanya kasi, ano ba yan? Pagkain na naman. Well, ito backstory, yung lola ko kasi, traditional siya. So, dapat exactly 12 o'clock magla-lunch ka na. So, lagi yang nagre-remind na, oh, lunchtime na, naghihintay yung pagkain, ganon. So, nung nagmo-monster mode ako, nag-ano siya, sabi niya, di ka pa kasi kumakain, ganyan. Eh, di lalo ko na-trigger. Sabi ko. Pero alam mo, lo and behold, pagkatapos ko kumain, parang nawala talaga yung nag-die down yung monster.
Hindi, totoo yan. May best friend ako na ganyan siya, na nagmo-monster mood talaga siya kapag gutom siya. So, kapag nakakain na siya, okay na. Alam mo yung nung nag-Japan kami, kasi sobrang pagod, tapos kailangan ngang kumain, ganyan, na parang naso-solve yung init ng ulo namin. Kapag nakakakain kami ng masarap, alam mo yung halimbawa ano, umuulan pa nun, tapos pagod na pagod kami kasi nag-ano kami, punta sa Meiji Jingu Temple, ganyan. So, malaki yon. Tapos gutom na gutom kami, ta's may paltos pa sa paa, ganyan. And then, when we ate lunch sa Ichiran, sobrang, "Ah, thank you Lord, okay na po kami," ganyan. So, 'di ba, food solves everything. Yun na lang.
Totoo. Alam mo 'pag nagsusungit na ako, parang I started ano lang 'to, siguro basta recent years lang 'to na whenever parang pagkakagising ko lang ganyan, na I would catch myself na nagsusungit, ganyan. Ang una kong chine-check kung kumain na ba ako.
So, yan ang ano natin ngayon, yan ang key takeaway. Kailangan
Food solves
kumain.
everything.
Pero totoo nga kasi, alam mo naniniwala ako sa ano, sa mind-body connection. So,
Yes.
kung talaga minsan kain ka lang. Kaya nga 'di
And
ba may comfort food, oh.
And also, not just with like eating, but also, di ba sabi nila, you are what you eat. So, minsan din, you have to check na baka kumakain ka nga, pero puro junk food naman, unhealthy food. So, unhealthy din yung emotion na matitrigger niya sa'yo.
Unless Pero may caveat.
Unless comfort food
Yes.
nga.
Unle
Siyempre, ano yan, may mga exception to the rule. Mga ganon. Parang, yun nga, magta-trial and error ka lang din.
totoo, trial and error talaga. 'Di ba nga yung steps ko kung paano ko na
As long as,
yes.
as long as hindi siya harmful.
Oo, baka naman kasi McDo yung breakfast, lunch, dinner mo for 1 month, eh, grabe na cholesterol mo nun at saka fats.
Oo.
So, ayun. Okay, so for my final tip, and this is definitely shouldn't be the last. Kung pwede nga ito dapat yung first eh. So, if you're really feeling negative emotions na hindi mo na kaya, you pray. For me, during those times na depressed ako, na hindi ko pa alam na depressed ako, ganyan. Pero meron yung signs. Like
Mm.
what you said na either hindi ako makatulog, tulog na tulog ako, tulog na tulog ako, tulog ako
Palaging
na
tulog.
or wala akong appetite. Nandun yung signs, pero I didn't want to admit that I was experiencing depression during that time. And what helped me get out of that state is really holding on to my faith. And yun, sobrang prayer talaga. Kasi minsan, you just have to surrender kung ano yung emotions mo. Na parang, Lord, hindi ko na alam yung gagawin ko. I tried all these steps. Wala pa din. So, ikaw na to, Lord. Bahala ka
Mm.
na. And, I don't know what happens. Hindi ko alam kung miracle ba siya or what. Pero talaga, for me, parang gumagaan yung feeling ko. Kasi yung prayer ko na to, talagang yung umiiyak na ako. As in, sobbing level ng iyak, ganon. So, after that, may release na, okay na, okay na ako, kaya ko na to, yung ganon. So, for me, that is the ultimate tip whenever we're experiencing, well, at least whenever I am experiencing negative emotions.
Ano pa bang madadagdag ko sa sinabi mo, no? Parang yung last step mo, yun talaga yung ano ba? Yung alam mo yung when all else fails, yun talaga, yun yung step na alam mo yun kahit I'd be honest kahit ang tagal ko nang hindi nagpe-pray, when you're having those negative emotions na you tried everything na, prayer gives you that comfort na whoever is out there, parang you're putting the negative emotion into something positive kasi you're hopeful na that someone out there will help you process that emotion. Gets mo ba? Or will
Oo.
help you take away the negative emotion.
I see it as, ano to talagang may visualization ako kapag nagpe-pray ako and nasa lowest state ko. Talagang I see myself as a child and then I'm giving up this negative emotions. Talagang nakikita ko yung sarili ko na I stretch my arms out and I'm telling God na, God, sa'yo na to. Ayoko na. Hindi ko na kaya. And then, yung sa visualization ko, dahil nga physical yung aking love language, lagi ko siyang ini-end with God hugging me. I guess that's why meron din yung comfort.
Oo. Eto naman, so for me, just to, siguro last words na for our episode for today. Tama ba? Or may
Yes.
share ka pa?
Wala na, last ko na
Ayun.
yun.
So, siguro to end our episode for today, nakita ko to sa Facebook. Basta tweet siya na nag-viral. So, sabi niya dito, so syempre, we're all about how to process our negative emotions. Sabi niya dito, and I really like what she said. Sabi niya, I don't encourage false positivity. Be sad when you're sad. Cry if you must. Be angry if you are. Let it out. Then let it go. Honor your emotions, but always choose to dwell on the positive ones.
It reminds me of Tuesdays with Maury.
Yes.
'Di ba? Hindi ko alam yung exact quote.
Mm.
I-Google ko kaya? Pero hindi.
Pwede, pwede.
Wag na lang. Hindi ko na lang i-Google. I'll paraphrase.
Mhm.
Pero yung sinabi ni Maury sa student niya is that you need to fully immerse yourself in that emotion, and then that's when you can finally like fully let it go. 'Di ba? I think yun talaga rin yung key na wag din pala natin.
I-invalidate yung sarili natin.
Yes. Yes, you're right. Let's not invalidate our emotions, and let's try to accept what we're feeling at the moment, and not to judge our emotions.
Mhm. Meron din episode si Oprah before. Sorry, another sharing. Pero I can't remember who was the guest. Basta, sabi nung guest ni Oprah sa podcast niya, ah, whenever you're feeling a negative emotion, I'm paraphrasing again. I'm paraphrasing, di ko maalala. But it goes something like, yun nga, when you're feeling a negative emotion, treat it as an inner child na lang. Na parang throwing tantrums, parang ganun. Na hindi lang niya alam or there's something na nakapag-trigger sa kanya and parang care for that negative emotion. Parang aalagaan mo lang siya to tame the negative emotion.
Si
Ang pangit
Oprah
yung
talaga, eh, 'no?
pagkaka-explain ko. Pero hahanapin ko na lang yung episode ni Oprah and then i-share namin sa community page. So, make sure na you go to our community page and join the conversation there. So, para yon mas ma-explain niya na mabuti. Syempre, podcast niya yun.
Si Oprah talaga ano, eh, 'no,
Oo.
life mentor.
Yes.
Iba talagang level si Oprah. Ang dami niya talagang naitulong sa buhay ko.
Same, same, same. And that's a wrap.
Yay!
We hope this episode is helpful for you in any way. If you have questions, suggestions, and comments, feel free to tag us at Chicuz Radio in Instagram and Twitter.
Also, if you want to continue the conversation, head on to our Facebook group, Chicuz Radio. That's CHICUZ Radio. And we'll see you there. And as always, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. And let's make Chica again soon. Paalam!
Bye!